All right. Hey, everybody. This is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, back again on another YouTube video. This time I have a special guest. I kind of told you guys this was coming. I have Tammy here with KDP for B2B. So like a number 4 and B2, like the number 2. And I am so excited to have her here. I know I have talked to you guys in the past, some of the ways I got started and started with my consulting business. And I know I've told you, if you've watched my channel far enough back, that I've talked about, you can create books for businesses. I know one of the ones, maybe it's not too far back, I was saying, create books. If you're into camping or camping books, see campgrounds around you and see if they want to sell your book, or if they want a book for them specifically to sell camping memories. You can do things like that. And so I'm excited to have Tammy here today because it's not just about, because, guys, I'm big on target market, and I'm about, getting to your target market. And getting to your target market is about, it's like marketing, right? Marketing, advertising. Marketing is trying to get your product to the right people. It's getting the word out, right? And so the great thing about this idea of KDP B2B is you are creating books for businesses. And so they can get the word out for you. That's one of the great things. So Tammy's going to talk about that. So let me tell you a little bit how I met her. So you guys know I've been kind of experimenting and doing stuff with this, trying to find businesses. And so at one point in time, I got invited to her group, and I'm like, well, this is something I've been trying to do, so let's join. And I watched several. You do a lot of live videos. Like I tell people all the time, you should just go into the Facebook group and see the live videos that they do every few months. They're fantastic. I actually have a playlist. You probably don't know this. I have a playlist of your videos so that I can rewatch them. So, because they're kind of hard to find sometimes, in the Facebook feed. So I guess order.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So that's me being organized, I think, or just trying to figure my own unorganized stuff out.
That's a smart thing to do. That's really good. That's great, Ashley.
So I can share my playlist with you, so you can have my favorite videos.
Oh, that's awesome.
But anyway,
thank you.
So after a while, I decided to join her to take the course, make the leap, and join kind of the inner circle. And I have to tell you that Tammy's one of my absolute favorite things. Is because, it is it's not just the course. The course is great, but it's that being able to share with like-minded people. And I really like that. So I know I've kind of chatted a lot, but I would like you all to have Tammy and talk about her B2B and what it is and what she thinks, she can offer you guys. So go ahead.
Well, thank you, Ashley. So I'm so grateful that you invited me to be here with your group. We fortunately, I'm glad our paths did cross. I think we were, like you said, you were on your KDP journey, maybe talking about businesses and how workbooks could work with them. And then, I was doing my thing, and then now our worlds came together. And so now we get to share this great opportunity for everybody. And I got started in the KDP business about 3 years ago. I've been in the Amazon space selling for 7 years now. So I've been in that world, but when it went to KDP, that was a whole new thing. And I got into it, and at first starting with the journals, doing the line journals, and I was just so proud of myself about getting one book published. And then I was waiting for it to sell. I'm just sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be making all this money and excited, and I waited, and nothing sold. And I have to say, I don't have a graphic background, so they were pretty simple books. But I thought, okay, I just put this like they said to do, put this book up on Amazon, and you'll make sales. And that didn't happen. But it was just, but one book did sell. Take that back. One book sold. I was so excited. I looked at my little graph, and I had one book sold, like doing the happy dance. And then later that week, I found out my sister bought it. She's like, I bought your book. And I'm like, thank you. And I found out kind of exciting and deflating at the same time. It's one of those things. So then I have a business background. I've been in my own business for, since I was in my 20s, and you can see I'm older than 23. But I'm in that range. Anyway, I've had many years of experience in the business, brick and mortar business. So when I took my KDP and wasn't selling, I kind of made that twist and thought, what about business owners? Business owners didn't even know this was available to them. So I started going to different places like gyms and places that I actually went to and started asking the business would you guys be interested in having a branded book for your business? And boy, their eyes kind of lit up. And then when I explained to them, and I took my line journals in, that's all I did, line journals, here they are. And I could create this booklet. We could put your contact information and brand your business, make a checklist, kind of still in that lower, content, but create that booklet. And they were super excited. So that kind of got me thinking, well, if I could have the business sell the books, because the booklets are under my KDP account, they're just buying them through Amazon for their clients, then I can just have that traffic driven to the books. And then I started making money. I was like, I'm liking this. So that's when I started expanding my KDP for B2B business. And then over time, people were asking me how I was doing. So then they want to know if they could do it themselves. So that's how KDP for B2B was sort of evolved, because I wanted to share this with everyone. And so we created a course and we did some other things. But it's always evolving. We're always getting better and learning in different things. But that was the basic way it started. I was doing it for my own business to bring KDP and start making money at it, besides one journal selling. I didn't think that was going to pay the mortgage, So,
one journal. No.
One journal sold. And I wasn't great. I have to say, this would be I'm not great at the keywords. I'm not great at the ads. And that I know that's your specialty. And I think that is really key to all of that. But with the KDP for B2B, I didn't really have to do that as much. You can get into that side of it because you can help the business, but the business was driving the traffic to the book. So every time the business would sell a book, I would make my royalty. And I created a way to get a setup fee. So I get a setup fee every time I create a book, and then I get a royalty every time it's sold. So I was creating these income streams. So if you're doing KDP right now, just add this as another component, and, all the things that Ashley's taught you, you could just hop right in and start doing it for the business side of it too, and have another income stream coming in. So, yeah, so I'll show you one of my, my first books if you'd like.
Oh yeah, definitely show us that.
Okay. Really okay. So when I first started, this would be my one of my first books. Let's say it's my first business book. This lady here, she's a therapist. And so this is one of my first branding books. You can see it's pretty basic in the inside. And I thought, but she just wanted a branded journal. This is just a basic journal for her with her logo. And she had just started her business. So that was the journal for a therapist. And she just started marketing that book. And that was one of my first ones. But then I went to another person and I was thinking, I wonder if she wanted me to join her Mind Body Revolution, it was called. And it was a fitness group. And I was really into fitness and doing all that. And so I signed up, and it was about around $500 or $600 at the time. And she handed me this 3-ring folder. And I thought, it's like, my KDP ears, eyes and everything opened up like, well, KDP could just do so much for her, because she has a beautiful style. Everything she does is really well. And then she handed me this, and I thought, this just doesn't elevate her business style. Like this, creating a booklet would elevate her. And this was all her own, or this was all her content. She's exactly how she gave it to me. So this is one of my second ones. And then I said, could I create this booklet for you? And this is what we did.
Yeah.
And so what a difference.
So much more professional.
And she's so professional, and she's such a fabulous coach and teacher. So now she, every time she sends out, she starts her group every, say, 30 to 40 days, and then she sends these booklets out to her clients. So they sign up for her course, and then she sends the booklets right out to her clients through Amazon, and she has the link on there. So this is great. So when you're thinking of doing workbooks or anything to do with a business that's doing these type of, courses, just think this is all her content. I did not change. She didn't want nothing changed. Not even the graphics. I didn't change anything you see. I took a PDF, uploaded it into KDP, added a few, cover, the few little graphics that she wanted. Oops, the reverse. Anyway, and so now she sells this book, copies of it every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, this booklet gets sold, and I make a royalty on it every time. Mm-hmm. So that's how it got started. And it was like a way better business model for me than throwing up a journal that didn't, just had the lines. So not making any sales.
Well, and I think it's interesting because what I love about KDP is there's so many ways to do KDP. And that's what I wanted to bring you on, because like you said, one of your background is sales and working with people. My background is military. And so, yeah, I work with people, but it's very different. It's very different.
Yeah,
like, I don't go out there and sell anything, right? It's kind of like I tell people what to do. But
you like to tell people. That's great.
Well, it was my job, okay? That was what I was supposed to do. I was supposed
That's
to,
great.
Lead the charge, be the vision. That was my job. It wasn't to sell them the idea. They were in the military for a cause, and so I didn't have to sell them anything. But your background fits so well with this model, and so that's what's so great about it. And I'm an engineer, so my background, research, looking at keywords, ads. Oh my gosh, metrics. I love the math in ads.
Yes. And that's where I was like, I don't like it. My husband's very much like you. And so he didn't get it. I'm like, I don't want to do keywords. I don't want to do ads. I don't want to do any of that. And it's not saying that they're wrong or they're just a different way. So I just thought, how do I take my strengths and work them in? And this was what I could do. I knew businesses didn't really probably know much about this model. They knew about print on demand, but most people didn't know Amazon does print on demand. And then I started adding, like I said, more booklets to it. And businesses were so excited that I was like, this is really a great way to do it. And they just didn't think, they don't have the time. They're busy. Business owners are busy. I knew that. I knew from my past, any marketing material, having marketing material, that you have to buy at least, 100 copies of the books mostly. I found a place that would do 25, but still 100 copies is pretty much average, that if you wanted to have a booklet printed anywhere else, or they cost a lot more. And then the other thing, as everybody knows, Amazon has is the shipping. The shipping is the best. It's, you can get all over the world in 2 days with Prime. So you can work with businesses all around the world to do this. We've all switched from the online, levels, work with COVID and everything. So, a lot of people are online, have workshops, courses. It could be gyms. You could do trackers. They're doing any type of tracker, guide, log. So they're still kind of in the lower content style booklets. Or if you take something like the Mind Body Revolution, I just took her own content and just created a cover, a cover and put it in there.
And why wouldn't she do it herself? Why? Because
she doesn't have the time. Everybody always says that to me. It's like, well, why the time? She doesn't have the knowledge. She doesn't care to know KDP. That's not, it's not, they, as a business owner, you just don't have time, or that's not something you're focused on. You just want it done. They just want it done. And people ask me that too. It's like, well, I go, they just want it done, and they just want to serve their clients. Like, if you think about it in that flip it around, they want to serve their clients. She's doing a Mind Body Revolution. She's got a ton of stuff to do. If I can take this off her plate, she was thrilled. Yes. I said, I could do this for you. She goes, you can. We just do it for me. I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. So we did it.
And those are the ideal clients you want to find. You want to find the ones who are like, oh, thank you for taking this off my plate, because you're doing them a service. It's not a sale at that point, right? It's you're doing them a service, and they're happy, you're happy. It's a win-win. And, there's really no downside to it for anybody. Like, even the customer, they get this beautiful book rather than this giant 3-ring binder.
Yeah. So these are all their businesses. I mean, these are just KDP books, and we took her content, put it in a booklet.
And it looks beautiful compared to getting a 3-ring binder.
3-ring binder. So once you start getting that thought process of you're serving and helping, you're not selling. You're helping that business elevate their style, add value. This added so much more value. Her course is well worth it. But getting something like this kind of changed it, from this to this. Changed the thought. And then you get it in 2 days in the mail. So that business is now like looking very, well, I'm just sending my books out, and I'm on Amazon. And then the other question people will ask, well, why wouldn't someone just buy this book on Amazon and not get it from her? Well, as we know, you can't find the books most of the time. If you're not doing your ads and you're not doing your keywords, you're not finding this booklet. Plus, it means nothing to you if you're not going through her program.
Through her course, yeah. Or even if they do buy it and you get an extra little income, yay. right? Like
it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. And we did have one person actually buy her booklet and then took her course because she bought it for some reason. She thought it was something else. So she ended up reaching out to me because I had some contact information in her booklet. And then we got her a client for the opposite way. Hey, that works too.
I mean, like I said, my consulting business, I have a book for my consulting business, and it was to just get information out there, but it actually is a lead magnet for me because I have, you want to learn more, here's my website. Yes. And then I get people contacting me that way. So, is it thousands a day? No. Is it a few a year? But it keeps
adding up. It keeps adding up. That's the thing. It's like, this is a lead magnet we did for this gentleman, Bernard. It's all his own content again. He wrote all this. He just wants a lead magnet, and it's called Stop Selling and Serve, which is kind of interesting. But think of it as that way, is he wanted this as a lead magnet for his group.
Right.
We created the booklet for him, and like I said, all his own content in there. So just think about, I like to say, think outside of the book. Think outside of it a little bit, and just think about how you're helping these business owners, and they really need our help now, especially to stand out, to add value, to it's a way for them to get into the bigger game in the print world. Because I know as a smaller business myself, when I had a brick and mortar, to try to get into looking that high and professional level, it's tens of thousands of dollars. So when you can do something like this, and they can bring it to an event, or they can send it to a potential client, these are professional looking booklets, and really elevates their style and adds all that value. They could sell them too. They could sell the booklets, and as you know, with hosts or authors copies and wholesale, we talk a lot about that kind of sending the booklets as a wholesale or author's copy to the business as well, so they can sell them in their stores and make a revenue too.
Yep. And I was talking with Chris Green, so an idea you can give your businesses is he was saying, and I agree with him, like if you could tell them, hey, with this book for, whatever you're charging for, you could send it directly to someone you're interested in, maybe a high value client that you could send them directly from Amazon this package, and who isn't going to open an Amazon package? Like, whoa, I got something from Amazon. And then they open it up and it's a book, right? What better like cold calling method could you have than to give them something valuable? And, you could say, hey, just send it to people who you think might be a high value client that you're willing to put the money in. And who's not going to open it? They're going to open a package. They're going to be like, hey, what did you guys order over there, right? I don't know. Go open it, right? They're going to open it.
It's a present. It's an Amazon present.
Whereas people send mail, right? And you're like, junk mail, toss it, right?
Yeah.
You're going to open an Amazon package. So it's like a guaranteed way to get your
it's a different way. People think, booklets, it's all digital. It really isn't. It's really changed. A lot of the groups I'm in is all saying, I want to be able to write it physically. So if you're thinking of a group that has, I give a free PDF away. Well, you can still do that, but you could create the booklet for them, and that just adds more value. Or you could sell the booklet, because it's a PDF. You have to. It gets kind of disheveled somewhere, or it's just if you sent them this booklet for their business, it's just it's like, I got a booklet. Then the business's contact information is there in one spot. PDFs, the papers, I usually get rid of them or just throw them in a file somewhere. It's not. I don't.
It is.
It doesn't keep it together, and and they're not. And like I was going to say with this one, actually, is you've heard this before. It's this is a realtor's booklet. It's called Home Maintenance Checklist, and so created this one. And what's great is realtors love to stand out from their competition. They also like to give gifts to clients, and like you were saying about the lead magnet is a perfect way. A new client. I have the other one. Getting your home ready to sell. So this would be your lead magnet. So you talk with somebody that wants to get their home sold. Well, if you hand them a business card, usually the business card gets lost, tossed, or maybe wherever.
In the pile of business cards.
In the pile of business cards, I got yes. So this is a great way. So again, it's just a very simple booklet inside. And so it's just, how to declutter your home when you're preparing, keeping your home clean, having a garage sale, getting your home ready to show, all those little check off boxes, that kind of stuff. Nothing super, super fancy, I have to say, but it's just a way to keep the business's contact information in their hand. And so realtors are a great resource for these little booklets. They work really well. So this would be, I consider this like a lead magnet. And then when the person's ready to sell, I was like, remember that lady we spoke to? Oh yeah, that's Cindy. She's, blah, blah, blah. And here's her information. Yep. The other one was the home maintenance checklist. Now, realtors love to give gifts after a home's sold. So when I'm talking to realtors, why not add your branded booklet to the package as well? Because, and then this gives the homeowner, so they just bought their home. This is going to be a little checkoff list, saying, a seasonal. So we did seasons. Mm-hmm. So, cleaning, okay, I cleaned my windows and the screens, and then they have to inspect the dryer filter and check for any leaky pipes in the winter. Those basic things that we have to make. Yeah,
like batteries, and
fire alarms. Yeah, exactly. So just go through all that spring. So what's that do now? This homeowner living in the home pulls this out every quarter to do the maintenance on their home. They see the person's face. They have their contact. Now it's 5 years. 5 years later. Mm-hmm. Well, where's that? Oh, I wonder if Cindy's still selling. I wonder if she could get our home ready to sell and find us a new one. Mm-hmm. A business card is usually, it's gone. It's gone. Gone. So, and I remember in business, I used to do this too. It was like I would take a product or something I'd have and I'd staple my business card to something. So this, instead of having to do that, this is your business card. This is their information. So that's a great way to reach out to these type of businesses. So there's so much opportunity in this.
Yeah. So and like people don't want to throw away a book, right? Even if they don't want to use it themselves, they might give it to somebody else, which is still a win for the business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, maybe, 5 years from now, I was like, oh, her name was Cindy. I can't remember her last name. I wonder, usually people don't change their email or phone numbers anymore. It's very consistent. So you have that right there. I wonder if I can just reach out and see if she's still, selling real estate and find her. And that's how this is value. I mean, that is huge value right there for that business. It's you never know how long, someone might keep it and fill it out and pick it up and sell it and call you up again in 5 years to sell your home.
Yeah. Or even like, do you know any realtors? Oh, wait, I have one. Like, right.
Yeah. Cause usually you might have this like in that drawer that you shove everything in, it's like, oh yeah, I got my book. I'll give you the information here. You can take it with you. You might, like you said, actually you may give it to them 2 years down the road. Or, so the booklets offer so much. And like you said before, why not do the KDP side? I call this KDP with a twist. That's kind of been my little motto, because I'm not saying step out of KDP. I think if you got that running, go keep it going, and then add this B2B side, because it just adds another income stream to your world of booklets. And then it just keeps snowballing, and you're building and building, and you start making that reoccurring income stream pretty easily.
Yeah. And like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, how can I make money right away? You were saying that you charge, a setup fee. Like that is something that people, a lot of people who are trying to do KDP, like, oh, I want some income, immediately. This is a way you guys can create income immediately, especially if you've been building books, building your skills up. Like you see, you don't have to be amazing, but you do want it to look professional, right? So you want to have some basic skills. And then, once you've got those basic skills, you can help people and, do something great for their business, and then get that setup fee. So even if you don't sell another book, you got a setup fee, and you're like, well, I got $250. That was more than I've got from my journal that I put on KDP and has been sitting there for 4 years.
And my sister bought one. I made $2. Yeah.
So, this is a way to get, a guaranteed income, right? And if you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm worth $250, fine, charge $50. But I can tell you, $50 is cheap. If they went out to even had Staples do this, like some Office Depot big chain thing, they would cost at least probably $150 to do a basic, not even pretty, just text.
No, it's not. I've done that whole example in my group and shown what Staples books are very expensive compared to what KDP can do. Yes. They're not that great look. I mean, it's like kind of like a photocopy of things and whatever maybe the owner who has the booklet made. This is way better quality, way yes. better quality. You can do different sizes. You know, all the other parts of the, you know, the booklet is like, you know, something like this where it's an 8x5 by 8x5. It's, you know, whatever the business wants, you know, more like lead magnets and these kind of things. 6x9 works better, you know, so you have much more options. The other thing that when you're talking with the business owner, you can make corrections. If you have if you had these printed, say somewhere else, and now you had to buy 100 and you have a mistake, or you change something and you want to change something or add something, you have 100, you have to figure out how you're going to, I mean, in old days, you put like a little sticker on and write over it.
White out, right on every
white out. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. But so you can think of it that way too. If the business owner needs to make a correction, you can make a correction, and you can get paid if it's a larger correction for revision. You know, we have ways. We talk a lot about revisions and making that that you would get paid to do that. Or if this is a person that you're working with and you're like, hey, I'm gonna just take care of that revision for you.
Yeah.
As goodwill. That's up to you. Like I said, this is your own business. The KDP for B2B model is your own business. We set the foundation for you. And then, like Ashley said, when you do join our group or take our course and do other, you get to join this group that we're all in, and we talk about all the different ways to do things and add. It's that group is valuable beyond means. So.
And like everyone worries about, I know in KDP saturation, there is no saturation with. I mean, I guess if everybody in KDP out there did it and found 50 businesses, I doubt it would be saturated. There's so many small businesses, so many individual people businesses, so many coaches, clients. I mean, things I was thinking of, like I was trying to, my friend has a pro skater, so he's a pro skater. Yeah. And so I was trying to get him to do a book. And we were going to use QR codes and do something really cool so he can visually show tricks. So
that's so good.
Teaching how to do tricks, right? Because if you try to talk about tricks, that's going to be very
painful. It's so hard to,
But if you do a QR code that links to a private YouTube video, that only if they bought the book would they
only if they bought the book. Yeah. Right? So just show them like that. So you just add a little QR code. I mean, I did that one on that back page, but like Ashley's saying, these are right to a video. If you're, I mean, it's
that pro skater, he now has another source of income, you know, because pro skaters don't really make that much, like $30,000 a year. So even if they made, you know, an extra $1,000 a year, like that's significant income to them.
Yes.
So and it's something they don't have to do anything with, right? It's just sitting on KDP, and they say, hey, you should go get my book if you want to learn how to do tricks. And people's like, what book? It's on Amazon. Go check it out with my name, right?
And then when you say it's on Amazon, that kind of just gives you that level of, oh, this is serious. Like you're serious about what you do or your business or whatever it is. It sort of elevates that. It's like, oh, okay, I can buy it on Amazon. That's really cool. So I hear that a lot with the business owners I work with too. It's like, oh, I'll be on Amazon as a publisher. It's like, yes,
your name will be on there.
Your name is on there. So yeah. And so these booklets are under your KDP account. So it's not under the business owner's account, it's under your account. That's how you make your royalty. So I just wanted to clarify that too. That's how I make my royalty. And then you can do a rev share if you choose to with a business as well. So if they want to make money, or you can just do it as they buy it and you get your royalty, and then that's it. They just buy it right off of Amazon, or you can sell them the wholesale author's copies. Yeah, well, lots to do. There's so much. Like Ashley and I, we could talk and talk forever about this because we both are passionate about what we get to do. We want to share it with you all, and I'm just so it makes me excited. And when we have our weekly chats in the KDP for B2B think tank, it's like we can't stop. I always have to cut it off. Unfortunately, I'm like, okay, gotta go. But we have it. Just once we brainstorm these ideas, it just. One you saw one was scuba diving. A lady's doing a booklet for a business in our group about scuba diving. Did you see that?
Yeah, and that's so cool because Yes.
Scuba diving.
And and divers have to be able to log their hours.
Log your hours. So it's a log for a scuba diver. I mean, think about, that's just one little world of, business owners, and just keep going and going and going.
Oh yeah, like you could even do like destination scuba diver places. So like all those small destinations, they could have their own branded book to so people would remember their scuba diving thing, like
experiences, and you can make it
out, and then they could find, what was that? We went to Florida that one time. Oh, let me pull out my book. Yeah,
a reef was this name, and what was the name of the company? Oh, it's on the back of the book. Remember? And maybe a picture of the location of, the business, and you just remember it. It's like a fond memory. You're not going to throw it away, and keep track. The other one is wedding planners. I know talked about this a lot in the group too, is wedding planners, events. It keeps snowballing. I kind of went down that little path with my daughters getting married. So I started talking to event planners, and then it was like, well, there's the DJ, there's the florist, there's the cake, so they all have their people they promote, and then how we could just do one booklet for the event center where the events are going to happen. And then they could promote like with the QR codes and keep promoting all these businesses. And then we could create a booklet for each business that promotes their business. Cross-promoting is huge. Cross-promoting.
There's no, and that's saturation. Just it would be hard to ever get to saturation, because this isn't the easiest model, because you'd have to talk to people. So that's not my best skill in the sense of this wholesaling and talking to people, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get better, reaching out to people. So, this can be something if you're, maybe that is your skill set. I know people, I'm actually finding people who I know that is their skill set, and I'm partnering with them. So I say, I was
going to say that exact thing.
You sell them and I will create them. And so that's good, because they're doing their skill set and making money, and I'm doing my skill set and making money. And I'm okay with that, because if I didn't have somebody selling it, then I would never get the opportunity to be in front of that business. So, it's a win-win.
And it starts getting you where, and I think that's perfect. Like if this is, partner up with someone who has the different skill sets. It's a great business model that way. And, it's like, I love talking to people. I like business owners. I'm like, I thrive in that world, but I did come up with, I do have a partner now with, that does my graphic designs for me. So I can get the booklets going, because I'm teaching KDP for B2B. So I don't have all the time anymore, but I still want to do it, because I love what we're doing. But that way I can pass it on to her, and then she does all that. And then we kind of collaborate on a lot of things together that way. But then it also goes into other products. You get into merch, and that's a whole nother level. So I got this business owner that is super excited about the booklet, but now they want to know if I can create shirts, pop sockets, pillows, all the stuff in merch. And then you can step outside of merch and have other manufacturers make branded products for them, because they trust you now. They want you, so you can collaborate with a lot of people have different resources. So say someone needs banners, they need cups, they need shirts, they need this. You can but as the merch side, hopefully Amazon keeps adding more and more, is you could just do the shirts and the pop sockets and the pillows and the cases for phones and all their stuff. So,
and you specialize something like in, let's say, weddings, right? Then, you could create some basic stuff that, you could reuse over and over again. Yeah, you would brand it for their thing and their logos and stuff like that. But it's basic templates, right? The templates wouldn't change much, except maybe personalization. And so you could focus on certain things. And once you get different, once you get clients and you start talking to people, you'll get referrals, right? And they'll refer other people to you. And if like the wedding business
snowballs,
tight knits, right? So you're going to have the DJs and all those other people talking to you. So if you don't want to go out there and hit everything, pick something something about, and then aim at that. And then that way, you'll get referrals.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And it's, like I said, the biggest thing that I learned quickly on is I kind of started going to all these different businesses, and then I realized I was overwhelming myself. So I always tell my students, stay in the lane, pick a few lanes, get started, and whatever. And if you're passionate about something, I mean, that's what I would go for, is something I'm passionate. Dog trainers, maybe a lot of people that are dog trainers or horse trainers or whatever, and you want to go down that path. So like Ashley, you have that skater friend. You got one skater friend, but how many skater friends does he know?
Exactly.
I like playing golf. How many golf coaches do I know? and how many do they know? And so once they like, you got a booklet, and that's so cool. And then it starts like getting out there. So the only thing is the only thing I tell you is you're gonna get overwhelmed because people will want multiple books fast and furious. And so so it's all fun. It's all good.
Start with one.
That's what I tell you. I was getting overwhelmed because you're like, well, I want this book, and then I want this book, and then I want this book. And I'm like, okay, let's get one done. So you have to sort of control the narrative a little bit with these business owners. They're like, they get so excited once they find out how this works. They're like, okay, but I want this book, and then I have this one, and I got a workshop, and I got an event, and I got and you're like, let's get one done.
Yep. And the setup fee helps with that because like they're not just trying to throw it at you because it does cost them something.
Yeah. You know, and they have some skin in it. You know, they have that skin in it in the game, and they want to get it done too. So one at a time, or as many as you can do. I mean, I'm not limiting you at all, but I'm just saying what happens with business owners, they do get excited. And then you present, you know, then you can always present the book. I love this. Is my favorite thing is I have a lot of this in my group where I present the booklet to them as a gift. And if I can do it in person, it's great. If not, I do it online and I have it sent to them. And they get so, I love seeing their faces holding their book.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like that binder compared to the book, like such a difference in professionalism.
That's
like,
a big.
It's a huge difference. Like,
and she, you know, how proud she's so proud of this. And then I'm proud of it because, you know, you get to be a part of something that's just like their whole business model. And then I'll see pictures on Facebook of everybody like in their group that maybe they took the course and they're all holding their books up and they're excited. And you're like, you're kind of like a piece of you is there. So it's really fun.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
so
right.
that's,
well, let's see. Okay. So yes, I wanted to make sure you got an opportunity to share of, you know, where to reach out and, yeah, encouragement or anything you want to offer my audience.
Yeah, sure. Well, right now, we, you know, the best place would be to just join our Facebook group. But we're doing the KDP for B2B.com. That's our website. Go to our website, click on our Facebook group. It'll take you right there. It'll be easier way to get there versus trying to find us on Facebook always is a little bit challenging. But
the group is fantastic.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Yeah, that has a lot of information. We just got done with a workshop. All the videos are in there. Maybe Ashley has them now too. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you about that. But the so yeah, we just did that. We just finished the workshop today.
Not done them yet. Finished.
So we just finished today, and we're offering a special deal for the course right now. So join the Facebook group, check out the special deal that we have going. It lasts until the 25th of this month. And then the price is going to go back up. So I highly suggest jumping in now, seeing if it's something you want to do. You can always direct message me. You can always, you know, I'm on Facebook. Please reach out. Let me know that you saw me on Ashley's group, so I know where this all came from. And then we have YouTube channel. I'm in Clubhouse. You know, I'm spreading the love, spreading the word. I'm in it all. And but yeah, so so there's a 16 module course that I created. It takes you from beginning from step where you just don't even know how to sign up for your KDP account. There's like a little small section in that. But then the biggest part of the course is pricing. Pricing is because it's you guys know how to do KDP. If you know KDP, you know how to do the prices. But this is like, do they want it wholesale? Are they using, this is like the business owner's gonna be asking you, I want X amount of books for in the color. How much is it gonna cost me? Oh, you want 25 booklets. Okay, the pricing is this, and how much is shipping? How much, how much revenue do you want to make? You can put all, figure all that out. We've created a royalty calculator that's been super helpful. It was created for myself, but now we have it for sale, and you can plug in all those numbers. I know you have one, Ashley, and you can plug all the numbers in. It saves a lot of time. It's a time saver. I was just like going back and forth with these businesses, and then businesses are kind of like, well, how much would 25 books be? And how many would, how much is the shipping? And how much is all these questions? And I'm like, I had to give, you know, let me get back to you. Now we just have this royalty calculator, just plug all the numbers in, and it spits them all out right there and then, and it just helps save time, and we all are busy. So, but the course itself is 16 modules. It'll take you through the, you know, like I said, KDP setup, as a section where creating the booklets. If you're brand new at that, it's through Canva, and we create the booklets that way, very simply. It's very a simple segment, but just to get you started. And then the pricing is a huge part of the course. And then what businesses to work with, and referrals. And then we go into merch as well. So that's available on our course, or on our website. And then in the Facebook group, we have a deal going. So it is something that I'd love to share with you. And if you have any questions, I'll tell you more about that. And join my Facebook group.
Yep, and I'll have a link in the show notes and stuff like that too, so you guys can go there if you can't type or can't remember it. But I'll put a link in too, so you guys can get there. Let's see. I think that's it. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just think that you know, you guys, if you're already doing KDP, which is probably mostly Ashley's, you know, group, this is a great way to just add another income stream. It's, you know, something you could help these businesses. I mean, with COVID going on, there's so many businesses online. That's been the pivot. That's been the switch. I've started before COVID, and I'm doing during COVID, and people are just willing to jump on a call with you online versus where, you know, you don't have to go into the business anymore as often. You know, you can if you have, you know, able to in your area with COVID, depends where you're at. But I just want you to take the first step. Ashley and I've talked about this before. Taking the first step is probably, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can talk with businesses. That's probably the sticking point. Like, I don't know if I want to talk with businesses. You know, they don't know much about this. So, you know, sharing this idea of that you could create this booklet for them is such a help. And they just want it done for them. And what a great time in a place in this world right now that we could help businesses grow. So, yeah. I think you froze.
Yep. So, yeah, COVID is kind of the way we work and live, and so it's a way to help businesses and reach out to them in different ways, and maybe not just personally, but online or through a Zoom call. There's so many more options now, and people are willing to take that. So
it's actually elevated.
This that is a little bit different than previously, and yeah, you don't have to kind of be locked down.
Yeah, you don't have to walk into a business anymore. Everybody's online pretty much.
All right. Well, that's great. Thanks so much for being here, Tammy. I'm so excited to share. Oh, did I?
Thank you. Thank you so much too.
Thank you for coming. Talking over each other. I think my internet connection, it looks like it's good, but I don't know. So sorry guys if there's stuff, but hopefully you guys got all the info you needed. It's so great to have you here, Tammy. And I'm so excited to share this with my audience because it's something I know I've been talking about, but they may not believe me. So it's good to have other people to, you know, back me up in this. So I'm excited about that. Well, thanks so much for being here. And thanks everybody for watching. And we will talk to you again some other time. You'll see me on my YouTube channel like I'm always there.
There you go.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody. Bye.